Hello, my friends. It's Iberia, and I am back to play some more Final Fantasy XIV. I started a little series on here where I'm going through the MSQ, and so we're going to kind of continue that. However, I have come to the realization that it's probably going to be impossible for me to play the entire thing this way through video because if it's, well, there's a few reasons, but first of all, I would really love to play through the entire game again, especially before Endwalker. I don't know if that's actually possible for me. Endwalker is supposed to come out in the summer, so roughly I have 6 months. And I know 6 months is a long time, but to be honest, there's a lot of games that I want to get to. So I'm not sure if I can do that, and I definitely won't be able to do it if I have to record every single time, just because, especially with ASMR, I need to try to have a somewhat quiet environment. So I'm sorry, but I won't be able to share like the entirety of my journey with you, but I will record as much as I can, I guess, or just whenever I'm feeling up for recording. So there may be some gaps between what happens in each video that I post, but I hope you can still enjoy it. And if I can remember, I'll try to give recaps at the beginning of each episode. So, probably noticing that my character has some different hair. I went ahead and did a lot of unlocks just on my own because I wanted to be able to do some of the events. So I wanted to be able to do like the Christmas event. I went ahead and unlocked Golden Saucer so that I could do the Fall Guys event, get some of that fashion and those rewards, which I'm not completely done with, but I should be able to get everything I want by the time it goes away. So I did do Sestasha. So that's kind of how far I've gotten, and I've also been working through some of the jobs. I unlocked Conjurer, and I unlocked Marauder, and we're also, of course, working our way through Arcanist. I would also like to note that I have a slightly different setup for my recording because I think it's going to make things easier for me if it all works out. So, worst case scenario, you never see this video. Best case scenario, you do. I have done tests, but sometimes even with the tests, things don't always work out as we planned or hoped for. But with all of those sort of disclaimers aside, I'm gonna go ahead and just play the game. So, bring the UI back. And let's see, it's funny because I've made it to level 20 on my Arcanist. And let's see. Conjure is at level 22. And Marauder is at level 15. Okay. Gonna quickly put the background music back on and just adjust the settings. I feel like sometimes it can get a little bit loud. Let's just put it there. Picture maneuver. Acting Guildmaster Thurigheim appears unusually distressed. So the last thing that happened in this particular quest for the Arcanist was, I can't remember the girl, Kylia, something like that. We went with her to basically stop some pirates that were trying to, like, I think smuggle goods or something. And her favorite book that she got from the actual guildmaster. This is just the acting guildmaster. Was thrown into the ocean, and she met a pirate that she's very afraid of, and she thought he had been banished, but that wasn't the case. So she kind of froze up and wasn't able to do her job of telling us what to do. So we retreated. Greetings, lady. In case such doubts fill your mind, you should know that I am ever willing to lend an ear if you find your thoughts troubled. At the very least, I would have you know this, because it seems that Clea, I think that's her name actually, Clea, because it seems that Clea does not. The Foreseer has been missing since this morning. There have been other times when she has disappeared without a word, but we have always been able to find her. Alas, that is not the case this day. Were the guildmaster here, he could deduce her whereabouts with nary a moment's concentration. I find myself beginning to wonder if those who devote themselves overmuch to Arcanema are more prone to bouts of wanderlust. But while I might wish to ponder further such oddities of character, we must needs organize a search party. Would you be so kind as to make inquiries in Hawker's Alley? It is not uncommon for Clea's wanderings to take a path through the markets. You seek a Mikote agent of Melvin's Gate? Why, yes, I have seen her. Spoke with her, in fact. She was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. What? The assessor was drilling me for details about a Keycurn smuggling ring based in Ailport, but then the soldiers arrived and took her away. If you wish to know her fate, then I suggest you speak with Janad of the Coral Tower. I don't know if that's right, but that's what we're gonna call her. Oops. It looks like that is just up here. Oh, okay. Where is the Aetherite shard? Foreseer Clea? Yes, we brought her in for questioning regarding the reappearance of the pirate Dos Maga. A member of the Arcanist Guild, are you? Then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you are already aware of this, but the Foreseer was once held captive by that rabid sea dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dos Maga. It has been 6 years now since he was exiled from Limsalaminsa for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading. And now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus, we hoped to borrow the knowledge of Foreseer Clea, whose experiences have given her an intimate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least, that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves, instead, providing the details of our search. Should you wish to speak with Foreseer Clea, I imagine she has already returned safely to your guild. Back already? You were led to believe she had returned here. I'm afraid not. So the Yellow Jackets told you something of her history with Dosmaga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dosmaga's banishment was the result of a surprise inspection that revealed his involvement in an underground slave trade. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirate's merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed into that squalid hold. Among these prisoners was a young Mikote, destined for some black market auction block. Though Clea was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of her fearful daze with a gift of Initiate's Grimoire. Yes, the selfsame tome she has carried her entire career. Of course. Did you not mention that Clea's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors that a Keycurn merchant of ill repute has retrieved the black market goods the crew of the Morning Star heaved into the ocean. Even now, he gloats over his salt-encrusted catch in Aleport. It is entirely possible that the Foreseer's most prized possession was caught up in the Keycurn salvage net. I've no doubt now that Clea has reached the same conclusion. To Aleport with you, Itheria. That is where you will find our wayward assessor. Yes. Combat Pattern 256 should serve to cover all expected contingencies. You never know when you'll have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Itheria, it is good of you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain when so many variables are involved. But there is good news. This prisoner here was kind enough to confirm that the trader who salvaged the Morningstar's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve a tome matching the description of my lost grimoire. Lawmenson law and the policies of Maelvin's Gate would support the confiscation of goods connected to an official inspection, but alas, my personal belongings do not fall under that definition. Thus, I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against this black marketeer and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for Candlekeep Quay. It is time I gathered to me such allies as I possess, and I count you as one of them, Itheria. Despite the nature of this endeavor, Mistress Thubergheim has offered me her cooperation. If you would, pray join her at Ashan's Embrace. That is where we shall ambush this disreputable Keycurn. Where'd that be, though? Okay, closer to Moraby Dry Docks. Where even am I? Where's Aleport? It's a bit far. The sucky thing is that now I have to run because I don't have a mount yet. Well, technically I have a mount, I just can't use them yet. So perhaps we'll get back to the MSQ after this, we'll see. I may have some other quests to do on the other jobs. It's not that long of a run, but it certainly feels like it. Perhaps I should forward the MSQ so that I can not run places. I can ride my mount. Greetings, Cytheria. Your arrival completes our small company. You are equipped for battle, I trust. We need not await Cleo's arrival. Once the Keycurn appears on the bridge, we spring our ambush. The strategy for trapping our target relies on the 2 allies we have concealed on the other side of the ravine. This pincher maneuver was, naturally, the Foreseer's idea. As for the target himself, the Keycurn is known as a careful and cautious fellow. He travels with a small retinue so as to avoid attracting attention, but do not be fooled. More bodyguards follow at a distance, and will likely join the fray after hostilities ensue. Do not, however, expect any assistance from the Yellow Jackets. They cannot be seen aiding us in what amounts to a personal matter, but they are willing to turn a blind eye for Cleo's sake. In any case, the Foreseer's tactics account for our limited numbers and individual strengths. Victory is all but assured. Now, let us take up our positions and wait for the Keycurn to arrive. Do I have? I do. Low levels, it's always good to eat some food because it gives you EXP boost. So I just buy whatever's cheap. I feel like I'll go after this one because he's ranged and that's annoying. Let's see what's going on down here. I don't know if there's any. Okay, they did not finish theirs down here. Oh, there's more. Easy. That appears to be the last of them. Now to find the Foreseer's grimoire. That was uncalled for. Okay, that should probably be the end. Yep, there it is. Where even is she? Did she fight too? I didn't see her. Well executed, everyone. Were you able to retrieve my grimoire? Itheria, pray hand over the tome. It's ruined. My wonderful grimoire is ruined. The probability of repairing this degree of damage is 0. Even the most brilliant strategy cannot undo such ravages of seawater. Damn, all that for nothing. I have never felt so defeated. I believe it is time I return home. Leave her be. But how can I? He is right, Erzthota. You must allow Clea time to process the loss. And you have other matters to which you must attend. Come, Itheria, it is time you return to the guild as well. Hopefully that was the level 20 quest. And let's see. Not quite the victory we imagined, was it? The moment Clea beheld her soaked and tattered grimoire, you could see the light of hope die in her eyes. There is, however, something we can do. I will call on your aid soon, but in the meantime, you would be well served to deepen your knowledge of Arcanema. Let's see. A mask. It looks like it was. Oh, this is for level 25 or below, though. So I guess I'll keep it on for now. Let's check real quick. I don't have one for Conjure, that's good. Okay, we do have one. Do you think my outfit's cool? It's too bad the head thing suddenly did not match. I did put together a few glams for her noob self. Right, we will do this one, and then we will go back to the MSQ, I think. Brutal strength. I see you have been diligent in your training. You need not tell me in words. It shows in your bearing, in your unwavering gaze. It is time for you to once more lift your axe in service to the guild. There have been reports of a sizable creature roaming the outskirts of Ailport in western Lenosha. This monster is no Kujata, but the threat it presents to the locals is nonetheless sufficient to warrant our attention. It should also prove a worthy foe to test your burgeoning prowess. How to find this beast? Well, I am fortunate enough to count among my acquaintances a veteran hunter and archer by the name of Rainfred. He took up residence in Ailport some years ago and will gladly aid you in this task. With Rainfred's assistance, I cannot say his name. With Rainford's assistance, you are to track down this prowling danger and provide it swift and bloody passage to the afterlife. May your axe swing true. I'm sitting here in ARR like, I can't wait to get to Shadowbringer. Okie dokie. He might be down there, actually, not up here. Yep, through the door. Wanna Wern Sowen's girls, are ya? I don't like the way they said that. Why, I've known that sprat since he was knee-high to it. Well, he was always kind of a big fella, was Wern Sowen. And now they call him Axemaster, eh? Not a subtle lot, you marauders. So I suppose you're here to hunt down our local trouble. What you need to do then is take yourself northwest up towards Camp Skull Valley and give a good whistle. The mean bugger you're after, his name's Patripaton, by the by, will come running across the weeded plains. He'll think you're trespassing on his territory, see? So you better have that cleaver of yours ready. Oshan's blessings be upon you. Alright, that's simple enough. And now we simply run. Oh, she stopped. Thought I turned to auto run on. But not quite. We shall avoid that pelican best we can. I don't think I have a chocobo yet, but I did buy Gishel greens just in case. But I haven't gotten that far. Here it is. Paralysis, that's rude. Got him. Okay, oh my gosh, we can't return. That's so unfortunate. I have chocolate on my desk because my mom gave me some for Christmas, and then I went to Target and bought a peppermint bark chocolate bar because I won't be able to get them till next year, so I wanted to have one last time. I wish I would have bought two, but I didn't because they were actually like half off as well. I really regret not getting another one. Maybe I'll go back, but I told myself not to buy a second one because I was like, you ate really bad through this holiday season, so you don't need 2 chocolate bars, but I feel like I'm gonna finish it tonight and be sad, so. I have been in contact with Rainford, and he had naught but praise for you. Your representation of the guild has been exemplary. There is one more task I would have you complete this day, a task that will demonstrate for you just how strong you have become. Report to Skapfkim, where he waits on the bank of the ageless river, and he shall help you unveil the untapped power of your axe. Okay. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning, but this hairstyle is like one of my favorites in the game, and when I was a cat girl, it was kind of my signature look. I did switch between hairs quite a bit, especially before getting on YouTube, but I wore this one probably the majority of the time, and the other ones I would wear a lot were like the Kiribanian plates, and sometimes one of the base hairstyles, the one that you saw in the last episode. That is one of the starter hairs, but this one is 30,000 MGP, and I was able to get that pretty easily just unlocking Gold Saucer and doing Fall Guys. So I'm happy to have my favorite hair. I really want to get one of the new hairs for this character. The hair that comes from Aloe Aloe, but that's not realistic. I think you can possibly buy it off the market board, so I don't necessarily have to wait to get it. But we'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I know it'll be quite a long time until I reach that point, but I don't know if I can cross here. I hope so. Wonderful. Aye, lass, I know why you're here. And after seeing this big old boulder, I'd wager you know why you're here too. Now, my rock's a bit more of a challenge than those pebbles rock I had you training on. To crack this beauty will require a relatively heavy swing. Impossible, you say? Ha! Warren Zoen wouldn't send you out here if he didn't think you capable. I mean, is this one heavy swing? It is. That was it. Okay. Easy. Ha, would you look at that? And on your first attempt, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Axe Master for you. Return still isn't up yet. I knew it would return before long. The deafening crack of shattering boulder reached me even here. This feat of strength deserves recognition, and you shall have it in the form of a new technique. Adopted and perfected by our guild forebears, the tomahawk throw was first devised by pirates as an opening attack on closing enemy vessels. Though we primarily focus on close-quarter combat, you will no doubt find that having a powerful ranged strike at your disposal greatly expands your tactical versatility. I sense that the impending confrontation with Kujata weighs heavily on your mind, but hurried swings lead to glancing blows. There is no swift road to attaining the peak of mastery you seek, only a steady, measured ascent. I'm not sure what to get. Maybe the gloves or either the gloves or the boots. Because clearly you see those pluses. We'll have to get the boots plus 23, plus 17. Not that it matters that much at low levels, but I just try to take a piece that helps me out. Okay. Yes, these boots are still level 5, so for whatever reason I was not wearing these. fix the glam. I have not yet made a glamour plate. Okay, Call of the Forest. I'll go do that. Continue the MSQ. We have not yet made an adventure plate. I think I said glamour, I meant adventure. And I've also not made a portrait. So maybe someday I'll do that. But for now, I'm just concerned with going through the MSQ. And honestly, I don't really feel like wasting my time making a plate when my character is like, well, actually, I do think my outfit's cute, but take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about? You are? The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mion, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mion, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? And good morrow to you too, Bolord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Dwarf's Wood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Okay, I regret that. For the love of God. I wish I could take a chocobo out of here. But I think you don't, like, the main cities are the only ones that let you rent them, for whatever reason. Like, I do not understand why you can't rent them from some of the side cities, but you cannot. Not have to deal with all these. Those NPCs gonna help? No. Let's just see what happens. I want to switch to healer, but we'll just do this. You're Lady Itheria, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bowlord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the calamity put an end to the 6th astral era. The cultists took the lesser moon, Dalamud, for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. Alrighty. I would like to go as a healer. I can't go as an Arcanist just yet. My hat no longer matches my outfit. I can't change my outfit here. I mean, it didn't match that poorly, to be honest, but whatever. Let's see. Tam-Tara, let's do it. I can't wait to get regen, my favorite skill in the game. One of them. Oh, I remember Tam-Tara. This is a good one. Everyone is like super noob. And they're like, oh, this guy is glam. Like nobody's really glammed, and then there's me. I mean, we can go further if you want to go further, bro. Up to you. We could have done more. This is one of those dungeons, though, where you don't have that many tools, so it can be easy to overdo it and take too many. And I certainly do miss having regen. my hair was in my face. And when I cover my face, my V2 model gets a little funky. How do you guys feel about having the VTube model here? I found a better spot for my a microphone. I moved my mic arm to the other side of my desk, and it's actually no longer in my way. I can't believe it was such an easy switch, but now she doesn't go crazy as much because the mic is not completely hiding my face. It's like close to my face, but slightly to the side. Okay, they decided, oh, they kind of moved out of the way. I wanted to push it. Oh, there's another one over here. I'm gonna bring it to the tank. I keep getting hit by stuff that's like just kind of behind me. The poor tank is probably like, geez, healer, stop doing that. Because I'm like awkwardly running ahead. Because I'm like, oh, we can do more, and then the tank's like, no, I'm good. Which, you know, like I said, I think is probably smart, because in these low-level dungeons, you really don't get that many tools, both as a tank and healer, so sometimes when you try to pull the entire dungeon, it doesn't go well. And the healer just can't how to heal it. Like, I don't have presence of mind, I'm not an astrologian, I don't have light speed, and I don't even know that astrologian has light speed this low of a level. So, I'm not really mad about it, you know? I think maybe we could have taken more, but it's chill. But yeah, this level definitely not a lot of tools in the toolkit. The best I can do is a swift cast heal. The best I have to offer. Oh, they think they just leveled up or something. I'm getting my treasure coffer. Somehow, I'm getting a little bit sleepy myself, to be honest. Maybe it's just because this dungeon isn't that fun. Bro ain't messing around. He's like, I'm going. I really need to cut my fringe. I call it bangs, but sometimes I say bangs and people don't know what I'm talking about. Although, I think it's mostly men. Sorry, just being honest. Like, it's always dudes who are like, what are bangs? And I'm like, what do you mean, what are bangs? They're like the little teeny fringes that go on your forehead. But anyways, they're like completely covering my eye. They're getting a bit, oops, they're getting a bit too long for my liking. I like to have bangs because I don't think I have a 5 head per se, but I do think that I don't have like the smallest of 4 heads, and I think I just look better with bangs. So they make my forehead look smaller, whether it needs to or not. I also have some like face framing pieces because I wanted kind of like Hime hair, but they're getting kind of long, so I need to cut them too. I wanted like Hime hair, but like less intense, because if you guys have ever looked at the Hime haircuts, they can get really intense. Like some people have them cut so they have like this really big chunk, and it's kind of a lot. Or they have it like really, really straight. That's not quite what I'm going for. It looks good on some people, but it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. So I just kind of like to have the idea of it where it's like I have some pieces that like frame my face. And they're kind of similar to those little Hime pieces, but not quite. I'm gonna do an AoE heal, because why not? But yeah, it's bugging me because my hair has been like in my eye this whole time. And it's kind of hard to move it out of the way. Because I'm busy doing this. And why is her face like that? What is going on? Oh my god. Just realized my shortcuts. My VTuber shortcuts are on like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh no. Okay, well. That's how it goes sometimes. My expression shortcuts. I just like looked over to the recording. I hope you guys didn't hear that background noise. I just looked over to the recording. Who summons me from the void to reside within this crude vessel? I looked over to my recording software and I saw my VTuber making this face, and I was like, why is she doing that? And it is because I pressed 4. So she might have been making weird faces this whole time, as I've been pressing 1 on and off. Like right now. She will smile and then stop smiling, because 1 is the smile. That's funny. I will have to remember to change that. I like to have the controls for like a lot of times when I make videos, it's actually easier to have those controls than to have it track my expressions. So that's what that's about. When we need to kill the most. But yeah, I don't like to have the controls on F keys because right now I don't have F keys. But if I did, that would definitely be a good place for them. I think I might switch to full-size keyboard soon. I like the size of like a 70%, but recently I've been kind of missing having the extra keys. Oh my god, this lighting is not doing her favors. That was nightmarish. Lately I've been missing having the extra keys of a full-size keyboard. So I might switch. I have a lot of keyboards in my closet, so And make sure to say thank you, and then we exit. Okay, now we go back to Gridania. Did you guys know that if you get the app, the accompanying app to Final Fantasy XIV, you can get a free teleport destination? Mine is Gridania currently. So you already get like, I think 3-ish favorite destinations. And if you get the app, then you'll get a completely free one. So it's actually better than Return, because Return has a cooldown. That's pretty hype. Welcome back. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Battleground's ringing endorsements left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point. Avir's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. Do you guys recognize her name? Edda? This is the origin story for one of the characters in Palace of the Dead, which I have not completed. I tried Deep Dungeon, I tried Palace of the Dead, and I hated it, so I never went back. That's how this game works. If you don't like something, you don't have to do it. And I did not do Deep Dungeon. Maybe someday I will change my mind and give it another go, if I can find entertaining enough people to do it with, but as of now, I am largely uninterested, so that's how it goes. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. It's kind of funny too, because this is like kind of mimicking the whole like everyone blames the healer thing, which I mean sometimes it's the healer's fault, but like a lot of the time it's kind of not, especially in 14, because as the tank you need to be mitigating stuff. If you die because you didn't mitigate, that's not the healer's fault. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Avir's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it. But for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Well, that's weird. Well, wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm sorry, Avir. Please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word and I will be glad to share the details with you. This is definitely part of the ARR slog, and I have to say, what I might do is just kind of get out of the slog part, which is the early levels, just on my own, because obviously when I do ASMR and I read everything, it takes way, way, way longer to get through everything. So I might kind of just do some of this on my own, not recording it, try and get through the slog, and then sort of get to the good part. The good part, which is the stuff that happens in Ul'dah. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm sure a lot of you watching have already maybe gotten to that part, but I know there may be some people watching who've never played Final Fantasy XIV at all, but at the end of... I feel like the good part of the plot at ARR is really near the end. ARR is definitely one of the weaker of the expansions. It does do a lot of groundwork, like it sets a lot of the groundwork and the backstory and all these things, and kind of the basic lore that you need to understand the game. But there's a lot of quests like this where it's kind of like you're just kind of going around helping people do stuff, and you are learning about the world, because you're learning about how everybody's like short-handed because of the calamity, and the calamity is a really important thing to know about. But I might kind of try to rush through some of this on my own, because like I said, then I can just read it to myself, and I can read quietly faster than I can read aloud, and that way I can probably get through some of it a little bit quicker, and then my next ASMR hopefully could be more focused on the actual story, where there's like cutscenes and like fun things happening in Ul'dah. So, but we'll see. You know, here and there I might still record some of these sloggy things, but that's just something I was kind of thinking about, especially for ARR, because it is a little bit slow paced, and not like I'm like, man, I just want to get through this stuff because this stuff isn't especially interesting to me. Call of the Desert. I always forget to read the titles of the quests, which is unfortunate because some of them have really punny titles. Okay, so you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Lady Iberia, and good luck. I think what this is doing is you do a quest, because we did something for Lominza, did something for here, and I think we'll do something for Ul'dah, and then we'll get offered the chance to join Grand Company. I think that's where this is heading. Just a guess. I just want to look at her outfit real quick. Oh, that's fun. What top even is that? It's gone now. Big Sag. That would actually be a really cool outfit for a blue mage if it was dyed all blue. I was about to go to the inn. That's not where I want to go. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for ale. Are you called Lady Iberia by any chance? Mion sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. I hope you guys can't hear, but my brother's being kind of loud in his room. I'm very excited because a very kind individual bought me quite a lot of things from Throne, but one of the things that was on my throne was a door cover, and it was basically this soundproofing, kind of similar to like a blanket, but like specially made for soundproofing, because here's the thing with blankets, guys. Movers blankets, a lot of people recommend them for soundproofing. I find them completely useless. I've tried putting a like comforter over my door. I would say it's better than a mover's blanket, but still not great. And then a big thing is just covering like the crack at the bottom of your door, because that can be where a lot of sound comes through. But I'm just really excited because I'm really hoping that this will help give me better soundproofing, because there's not a whole lot I can do since I don't own the place that I live, and you guys, nobody knows that I make YouTube videos, okay? My family doesn't know. So I'm kind of limited in what I can do in terms of not owning the place, expenses, and this kind of being a secret hobby of mine. So I'm hoping this door thing could be really helpful, and it's something that I can use not just for making videos and streaming, but also like just to help me sleep better, because a lot of times I wake up in the morning because I hear people talking, and hopefully I don't know if it's completely the door that the sound is coming through. It could be somewhat just the walls are thin, but I'm really hopeful that it's going to be helpful and dampen some of the sound so that even if other people are being kind of loud, it won't come through into my recordings. Hopefully. We'll see. Mion sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventure of the moment. Oh, I think I read this already. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless, you're eager to get started. But let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. God's almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Excellent time in Papashan. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. So this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, milady. I am Papashan, formerly of the Sultan's Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Itheria of her mission. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hecatoncheireth. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during a bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's kind of funny how, like, even he agrees that what their ancestors did was not right. But, like, he's like, nah, yeah, go there and kill them. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the Hecatoncheireth chairs to work their mines. Hecatoncheireth? Whatever. By way of enchanted helps, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecas, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It is said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rise in demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at the Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great. And so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. I do have reservations. This is like animal cruelty. In case you don't know, Copperbell Mines are in western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? Ah, and one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell Mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Okay, and he's right behind me. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, miss. I just hope you've got skills to go with them, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The Heckas have left the place in a right state, and nearly a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the Second Wool Dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for a rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Okay, I think I'm actually going to call it a night here. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if I will, when I come back, maybe I'll already have done the Copperbell Mines. Because like I said, I think it would be nice to kind of get myself out of this stuff and then try and keep the more interesting parts of the MSQ for AR, or for try to keep the more interesting parts of the ARR MSQ for the ASMR sessions here. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. And I thank you all for watching and hope that you sleep well. Good night.